Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about scapulohumeral rhythm. Scapulohumeral rhythm occurs because of combination of movement of multiple joints that includes sternoclavicular joint, acromioclavicular joint, scapulothoracic joint and the glenohumeral joint. Now we will first study the individual movements occurring at these joints and then finally we'll discuss about the scapulohumeral rhythm, how it is occurring. First, moving to the kinematics of sternoclavicular joint that has 3 degrees of freedom and provide us elevation and depression, protraction and retraction, and axial rotation of the clavicle. Then moving up to the acromioclavicular joint, that is the anterior and posterior view showing that how articular surfaces of the lateral end of the clavicular and the small facet of the acromion of scapula are attached together to form the joint. It also provides us the 3 degrees of freedom in all motions, and the osteokinematics belong to these joints are upward and downward rotation. Here you can see in this picture internal and external rotations and anterior and posterior tippings. Now moving up to the scapulothoracic joint. Basically, scapulothoracic joint is a typical joint which lacks all the traditional characteristics or we can say features of a joint except that it causes motion. And the motion caused at scapulothoracic joint is a combination or summation of the motions occurring at the acromioclavicular and the sternoclavicular joints. The primary role of the scapulothoracic joint is to support the glenohumeral joint abduction. Now, moving up to the movements occurring at the scapulothoracic joints are elevation and depression, protraction and retraction, and upward rotation and downward rotations. Now we will study some of the movements in combination, that how AC and SC joint movements in summation causes movement at the ST joint. Now here we can see the B picture is showing the SC joint elevation along with the summation of C that is showing the AC joint downward rotation is causing elevation at the scapulothoracic joint. Moving up to the another summative picture, that is the scapulothoracic protraction. How this is occurring? This is occurring as a combination of protraction at the SC joint along with the horizontal plane adjustment at the AC joint, summatively causing the protraction at the ST joint. Now moving up to another motion of ST joint, that is ST joint upward rotation. How this upward rotation is occurring? It is occurring as a combination of elevation at the SC joint along with the upward rotation at the AC joint, summatively causing the upward rotation at the ST joints. Friend, it is very important to understand and keep in mind about these summative motions causing motion at the ST joint to understand the scapulohumeral rhythm. Now, moving directly to the glenohumeral joint. What is glenohumeral joint? It is the large complex head of the humerus inside the shallow concavity of the glenoid fossa. Now, what are the osteokinematic motions that GH joint offers are abduction and adduction, flexion and extension, and internal and external rotations. Now, these are the movements: flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, external and internal rotations. Now, if we talk about the arthrokinematics of these movements, then during abduction, the rolling is in the same direction and sliding is in the opposite direction. Similarly, for the rotations, external and internal rotation, but in case of flexion and extension, there is pure spin between the humeral head and the glenoid fossa. Now, moving up to our main topic of concern today, that is scapulohumeral rhythm. So what we have studied till now is AC joint motions, SC joint motions, summative of AC and SC joint motion causing motion at ST joints and the glenohumeral joints. Now, what is scapulohumeral rhythm? As stated by Inman, that for every 3 degree of abduction of our arm, 2 degree is contributed by glenohumeral joint and 1 degree is contributed by scapulothoracic joint. This picture is showing 0 to 180 degrees of shoulder abduction, in which the first pink marked area is 60 degrees of scapulothoracic joint upward rotation, and the next is shown in 120 degrees of glenohumeral abduction. Here you can see that AC joint is moving 30 degree in upward rotation and SC joint is moving 30 degree in elevation. Now we will explain you how these movements are occurring. Here you can see that the ratio what I was telling you is 2:1 that Inman reported for every 3 degree of shoulder abduction. Now moving up to this chart, this is very important to understand the scapulohumeral rhythm, as how in early phase, the phase 1, that is from 0 to 90 degree, 25 degree of SC joint elevation and 5 degree of AC joint upward rotation combinedly form 30 degree of upward rotation at scapulothoracic joint, while 60 degree of abduction is contributed by GH joint, causing 0 to 90 degrees of phase 1, that is early phase arm abduction. So first we will discuss this. Now according to this picture, the action lines of upper trapezius, lower trapezius, upper serratus anterior and lower trapezius serratus anterior is shown in right picture, in which upper trapezius is trying to elevate the clavicle and lower trapezius along with the fibers of upper serratus anterior and lower serratus anterior are trying to upward rotate the scapula. As the upper trapezius is trying to elevate the clavicle, the AC joint is not elevating because of prevention or restriction from the coracoclavicular ligaments. But to dissipate the forces occurring because of lower trapezius and the upper and lower serratus anterior, the motions occurs at the next available joint, that is the sternoclavicular joint. So what motion will occur? Around 25 degree of sternoclavicular elevation takes place, and after 25 degree it is restricted by costoclavicular ligament, that is that is taut in this position, and coracoclavicular ligament is also stressed or in tension just to prevent the AC joint elevation, but 5 degree of elevation is noticed in this phase. And here what we have discussed is now 25 degree of elevation has occurred as the SC joint because of the upward rotatory forces from the muscles lower trapezius, upper serratus anterior, lower serratus anterior, and 5 degree of upward rotation occurred at the AC joint. Now moving up to the second phase, that is from 90 to 180 degrees. Again, it is showing that 5 degree of elevation occurs at the SC joint and 25 degrees of upward rotation occur at the AC joint. That is total 30 degree of upward rotation from the ST joint and rest 60 degree from the GH joint, causing again 90 to 180 degree abduction of the arm. Now you must have noticed that I have not mentioned this 35 degree of posterior rotation of clavicle, because now I am going to explain it how this is occurring. So coming up to this picture, when we'll see that as I have explained you in phase 1 that coracoclavicular ligament tried to prevent the AC joint upward rotation, and because of that the forces from lower trapezius and serratus anterior acted on SC joints and cause it to do elevation up to 25 degrees. Now again the forces are being generated from lower trapezius and the serratus anterior muscle. But now motion cannot occur at the SC joint because the costoclavicular ligament is already taut because of 25 degree of elevation in first phase. So now the force to dissipate the forces, the coracoclavicular ligament, which is connected to the conoid process of the scapula, will will do the downward rotation of the scapula, causing sorry, downward positioning of the scapula, not the rotation. And this downward positioning will pull the conoid ligament, conoid ligament, which is attached to the posterior inferior end of the clavicular towards the forward and downward direction, causing the posterior rotation of the clavicular, and the crank shaped end of the clavicle will come up, causing the lateral upward rotation of the scapula that is occurring at the AC joint. So what will occur? Only 5 degree of elevation will occur at the SC joint, and rest 25 degree of upward rotation will occur at the AC joint. Okay. Then from here chart you can see how the motions are occurring, that finally 30 degree of upward rotation has occurred, and all 90 degree to 180 degree of abduction has occurred. So this is the total 0 to 180 degree chart what I was trying to explain you in this picture, that 30 degree of AC joint upward rotation and 30 degree of SC joint elevation contributes to total 60 degree of scapulothoracic joint upward rotation, and along with 120 degree of GH joint abduction, the whole 180 degree of arm abduction takes place. Hope you have understood this concept, how the scapulohumeral rhythm is taking place. But still, if you have any query, you can write to my email or drop a WhatsApp on my mentioned number. Thank you.